Deep in the heart of Oyo State, Nigeria, lies a place so horrifying that it sent shockwaves across the nation. In 2014, a gruesome discovery was made in Soka Forest, an area on the outskirts of Ibadan, the state's capital. What was meant to be an abandoned piece of land turned out to be a dungeon of death. A forest filled with decomposing bodies, human skeletons, and starving captives who had been held in inhumane conditions. This chilling discovery was not just another crime scene, it was evidence of something far more sinister. Stories of missing persons, ritual killings, and underground criminal networks suddenly became all too real. The Ibadan Forest of Horror became a symbol of fear, leaving behind many unanswered questions. Who was responsible? How long had this been happening? And how many other places like this exist in Nigeria? This is the disturbing real-life story of the Ibadan Forest of Horror, a case that shook Nigeria to its core. To understand the horror of Soka Forest, we must first look at Nigeria's long history with ritual killings. In various parts of the country, beliefs in supernatural forces remain deeply ingrained in the culture. Some individuals, desperate for wealth, power, or protection, turn to ritual sacrifices, practices that involve taking human lives for spiritual purposes. These ritual killings, often referred to as money rituals, are rooted in the belief that human body parts, especially those of certain individuals like albinos or virgins, hold powerful mystical properties. Juju priests or native doctors are believed to use these parts in charms, amulets, and potions that supposedly bring success, prosperity, or protection to their clients. Over the years, Nigeria has seen multiple cases of kidnappings and disappearances linked to ritualists, but none were as terrifying as what was found in Ibadan's Soka Forest. On March 22, 2014, residents of Soka, a community in Ibadan, made a gruesome discovery that would haunt them forever. Reports of missing persons had been growing in the area, with rumors spreading about a forest where people entered but never returned. That day, a group of local motorcycle riders, also known as Okada riders, stormed the forest in search of two missing colleagues. What they found was beyond their worst nightmares. Mutilated bodies lay scattered across the forest floor. Human skulls and bones were stacked in piles. Some bodies had been partially burned, while others were in advanced stages of decomposition. Prison-like cells held emaciated captives, men and women barely clinging to life. Personal belongings such as clothes, shoes, and identification cards were scattered all around. The air was thick with the stench of death. Many of the prisoners were too weak to speak. They had been left in chains, starving for weeks, months, possibly even years. As the news spread, journalists and law enforcement officials rushed to the site. The survivors' accounts were horrifying. Some had been kidnapped from different locations across Nigeria and brought to the forest against their will. Others had been lured by job offers, only to be drugged and locked up. Several prisoners described how men in black robes came at night, selecting victims for slaughter. Those who resisted were beaten, starved, and left to die. One survivor recounted how she had been taken from a bus stop in Ibadan, blindfolded, and transported to the forest. She was locked in a dark, damp cell for weeks without food or water. She had accepted her fate until she was found. Another survivor, a man in his 30s, claimed that captors harvested body parts from victims while they were still alive, cutting off limbs and tongues before eventually killing them. It was clear this was a slaughterhouse for humans. The discovery of Soka Forest raised terrifying questions. How did such an operation exist in a major Nigerian city without anyone noticing? Who were the masterminds behind these gruesome crimes? Initially, the police arrested 7 suspects found near the site. Among them were security guards who claimed they were only watching over the area, but had no involvement in the killings. However, Locals suspected a much bigger network of powerful individuals was behind it. Some residents pointed fingers at wealthy businessmen and politicians, accusing them of financing ritual killings for power and success. Others believed that corrupt police officers had turned a blind eye for years, allowing the kidnappers and killers to operate without fear of being caught. Even though several arrests were made, many Nigerians never got a clear answer about who was truly responsible. The Ibadan Forest of Horror was not the first case of ritual killings in Nigeria, and it certainly would not be the last. Similar discoveries have been made in other parts of the country. The Okija Shrine, 2004, Anambra State. A shrine filled with hundreds of human skulls and decomposed bodies, used for rituals by a powerful cult. The Ibadan Kidnapping Syndicate, 2016. A gang that kidnapped people across Oyo State and sold them to ritualists. The Lagos Baby Factory, 2018. A compound where kidnapped women were forced to give birth, and their babies were sold for rituals or illegal adoption. The Soka Forest case made one thing clear: Nigeria had a serious problem with ritual killings. Despite the widespread horror and outrage after the discovery of the Ibadan Forest, ritual killings remain a problem in Nigeria. Several factors contribute to this ongoing menace. 1. Belief in superstition and juju. Many people still believe in the power of money rituals, despite numerous warnings from religious leaders and authorities. Some individuals, driven by greed or desperation, are willing to kill for wealth and power. 2. Corruption and weak law enforcement. Many ritualists bribe police officers and government officials to avoid prosecution. Some cases are deliberately covered up, allowing the perpetrators to continue their gruesome trade. 3. Poverty and desperation. With high levels of poverty and unemployment, many people become easy targets for ritualists. Some are tricked with fake job offers, while others are sold by human traffickers. 4. Lack of proper investigations. After the Soka Forest was uncovered, the case eventually faded from the news. Many Nigerians believe that the real masterminds were never caught, and that similar operations continue in secret. Years after the Soka Forest of Horror was discovered, the fear remains. The land where the atrocities took place has been abandoned, as no one dares to build on it. People passing by the area report strange noises at night, whispers, cries, and even phantom screams of those who perished there. The case serves as a dark reminder of the dangers lurking in plain sight. It also raises an unsettling question. If one forest in Ibadan could hide so many horrors, how many more remain undiscovered? The Ibadan Forest of Horror was not just a crime scene, it was a warning. A warning that evil still walks among us, hidden behind wealth, power, and secrecy. Even today, families of missing persons wonder if their loved ones met a gruesome fate in places like Soka Forest. And while some arrests were made, the true masterminds may still be out there, continuing their dark work in the shadows. What do you think? Do you believe all the culprits were caught? Or is there something even darker behind this case? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you found this story chilling, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more disturbing real-life mysteries. Because sometimes, the scariest stories aren't just stories.